I have been through some of the darkest days in the last 8 months. And I know literally it's because of techniques and my faith that I've been able to stand up every single day.
How do you get through those dark days? Like, what are some of the things that you have to do? Because I feel like when you're in these times, like you said, you feel alone. You feel like you can't talk to anybody. You feel like everything is going against you. Yeah. Right. So how do you get out of it? Like,
Yeah. So I'll say, do something. It sounds crazy, but do something. See, okay. Another biblical aspect that I'll say is. One of my favorite passages in a good book is God said he'll take one. If you take one, he'll take two. You just have to do something. And he's right behind you. For me personally, I didn't realize that. So I started going to the gym, and in the beginning when I was working out, it was just literally to get out the house. Yeah. It wasn't I wasn't trying to drop no weight. I was literally just trying to do something. Yeah. And as I was doing stuff, I still didn't understand what I was doing. But had I not started, I would have still never known. Yeah. And so my going to work out was associated with me playing ball. Had a game coming up. This is why I work out. It wasn't until I started understanding that there are health issues on my dad's side, and then there's alcoholism on my mom's side. And it's like, all of these different things, because our parents don't talk about them. When you finally start doing stuff for yourself, that's when everybody start talking about stuff. Because they want to ask you questions. Like your parents will literally want to ask you questions about what your journey looked like. Yeah. Because they curious too. Because they honestly want to do it with you. Yeah. But they're still scared because they don't want to be looked at crazy because they battling their own stuff that they never even got through. So I would say do something. I don't care if that's write it down. Because even with my clients, I tell them, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write out your entire story. I need you to get it off your chest. So if you can, the first thing, if you needed to do something directly, get a piece of paper, write it down. Don't type it, write it. It's very intentional when you write it. And I don't care who you cuss out. I don't care if you name everybody. Seriously. Because you got it in you.
Yeah. So you want to get it out of you.
Yeah. You want to get it out of you. So write it out. Put it in the envelope and bury it.
No, yeah. That's one of the things that I've been working on in the last couple of months, because I realized that like I've been more irritable than other times. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why does little things just
I'm working through that still.
Like why like I'm usually the person who's just like, all right, whatever. But why are little things just turning me off or pissing me off? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I so irritable? So I just started writing down certain things, and I'm like, okay, this is connected to that. And that is connected to that. So it definitely does something when you can get it out your body, get it out your brain, you know what I'm saying? Because you're no longer just keeping it.
You're not consumed with it.
You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes when you don't feel comfortable talking to other people, you at least you got it out. You know. And
the one thing I will say that I've done is the next thing I would tell you to do is go find you your quiet place. A lot of times, I promise you, for everybody that's listening, watching, I can guarantee you I'm about to call you out. So I promise you.
What's good, y'all? Are y'all having a hard time starting conversations in large rooms? Do you need to find more effective ways to draw attention to yourself without wearing a fancy outfit? I figured out a hack. You need some Financial Revolution merch. Everything is a staple piece that represents Black wealth. You are what you wear, so make sure you join the rest of the billionaires and get some FR merch. We have hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, and much more. Make sure you visit www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Again, go to www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Let's get it, y'all.
9 times out of 10, 9 people out of 10 people, when they get in the car, they're going to turn the music on. Because they don't want to hear their thoughts.
True.
The reason why you don't know who you are or don't know even what your voice sound like, let alone trying to hear from a higher power, is because you always got something going on around you. Yeah. I can legit ride in silence from here to North Carolina in my car.
I don't know about here in North Carolina.
I'm so serious.
I can do a little hour.
I've done it. I've done it.
That's good.
I've done it because I'm trying to hear what I've never heard before. Yeah. being in the radio industry had showed me that we're going to play the same songs every hour no matter what. It's a strategic reason why. I know people think that we just like the song. No, we really don't. It's a strategic reason why these songs are getting played. Okay, if I already know that's not changing, what can I change around me?
Yeah.
Not listening to it.
Yeah.
So what is it that I need to know? Myself. I'm in a season where I don't know who I am. You can't figure that out through lyrics. Your lyrics are the ones that need to be heard. You can't hear your own lyrics because you're too busy bobbing and weaving to everybody else's situation. So if you stick with you and you listen to yourself and you ride with you, then eventually you'll be able to understand what voices to ignore. Now you getting into your faith walk.
Yeah.
No matter who you believe or what you believe, now you're getting into your faith walk where you're starting to understand, hold on, that's negative. And so now to the point where my friends, I'm calling them out. Whether if they start talking, I don't care if they talking negative to their kid. You ain't doing that around me. You do that on your own time. But around me, we can't even be around each other if you start doing that.
Yeah, fact.
You can't.
Facts. Nah, I agree. I feel like I do like this developmental thing where, and I encourage all my friends to do it. And it started in college. In college, I started to like learn confidence, confidence in who I am. And it started by me asking myself questions, like literally learning who I am, right? So I'll go with these questions of what do I love about myself, right? What do I dislike about myself? What habits do I have that are great? What habits do I have that I need to work on? Like all these different questions, like what makes me happy? What makes me unhappy, right? And those little things literally changed my life. And then also like, what are my core values? What are the things that I live by? And that I encourage people all the time, figure out who you are.
Yeah, right? I'm grateful that you did that because I didn't have that strength.
Well,
I don't lie to you.
I don't even know. Like, I can't even sit and tell you where it came from, but it was a point where I realized that I inspire people. And when you hold that type of title, you gotta make sure you good. Yeah, because if you're not good, how can you inspire others? You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So I feel like that's where it kind of came from. I had to just check myself because in the same breath of me talking to other people, inspiring other people, motivating other people, who gonna do that for me?
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
And, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm telling people sometimes you gotta lift yourself up, I gotta lift myself up.
1,000%.
So I feel like that's really where like I got that strength to do that because it's like I gotta do what I'm teaching.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like that's really, really that. But to go back to the